Hi guys, and welcome back to Personal Friday. Today is going to be a really special video for me, and it's a video that I've been avoiding for a while. I want to be honest with you guys. It's just really personal, and I don't talk about this issue very much to people, and it's been kind of scary for me to share it with you guys. Not that I don't want to, that's the whole point of me creating my YouTube channel, and especially what I'm going to talk about today has every reason. That is like the main reason why I started my channel, is to share this information with you guys. But I don't know, I just want to be completely honest and tell you guys that I have just been so nervous to share this with you guys, but I kind of feel like I've made really good friendships here, and everybody that is subscribed to me and comments and everyone that I've gotten to know from YouTube has been nothing but supportive and loving and nice, and I don't imagine that you guys are gonna think of me any differently or judge me or be mean to me. So I kind of feel like at this point I have no reason to not share it with you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in. I didn't like plan out a speech or anything. I am just gonna basically tell you guys my story off the top of my head. Like the biggest question I got over the years was, well, what's wrong with you? So I guess I'll just start from there. My name's Alicia. I'm pretty sure most of you know that by now, but I am 32 years old, and I have a rare genetic syndrome that has affected my life and affected my whole entire body, and still affects me today, and it's called otopalatodigital syndrome. Basically, in short, I call it OPD. And there's a type 1 and a type 2. I have been diagnosed with type 2. It's very rare. There's not much information. I've actually never met anyone else who has this syndrome. I have looked online. I see a couple of cases online, but I've never met anyone. Most of my doctors who treat me or have treated me in the past have never met anyone. As far as I know, there have been 60 cases of people that do have OPD within the United States, or within the world actually. That's more accurate. So it's just very rare. There's no telling what's to come in the future, and there really is no explanation as to why it happened. I just like to believe that I am lucky and God chose me. I honestly don't even meet all of the qualifications for type 1 or type 2, but I do have the majority of type 2 diagnosed, and some on top of that. So I will briefly go over what OPD is, and from what I know, because I don't know very much. Even if you were to search it online, there isn't much information. So yeah, I basically want to share with you guys what it is and how it's affected my life and the things that I have gone through because of it. So basically, otopalatodigital is a syndrome that is a genetic syndrome. It was completely by fluke, nothing that either parent did or took or did wrong or did right. Basically, it is just completely genetics, and I wasn't even properly diagnosed until I was 12 years old. And I remember the day I was diagnosed, it was really overwhelming because for so many years I had no idea what was wrong with me or what I had going on, other than the fact that I had a lot of health problems. The otopalatodigital syndrome is a skeletal syndrome that affects your bone, your hearing. It affects me from head to toe, and I have bone deformities from head to toe. I like to believe that literally every bone in my body is different from the average person. I've also been told that too. I've had full skeletal x-rays, and pretty much every bone in my body is different. The majority of my surgeries have been focused on my ears, my hips, it's been mainly hips, ears, face, heart. I did have open heart surgery when I was 10 years old. I was treated throughout my childhood at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. That is where all of my medical treatment was done, and then by the time I turned 18 I was kind of on my own. But luckily at the age of 15 everything started to slowly die down, and now in my adult life, all throughout my 20s and now into my 30s, I basically live a normal life. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about what I've gone through because of it and what type of surgeries I've had and how it affects my body. The first, I do wear hearing aids. I have about 80% hearing loss. I technically shouldn't be able to hear at all because I've had like at least over 30 surgeries on my ears. Well, just one ear. It's only been on my left ear. So yeah, I've had a lot of ear surgeries, reconstructive surgeries to remove tumors, to totally reconstruct the middle ear. And the other thing that it affects pretty prominently is your face, the facial features. I don't fit the typical, I don't look like the typical person that has OPD because I have had 2 reconstructive surgeries. One when I believe I was 5 years old, and the other one I was 15 years old. That was the biggest surgery of my life, aside from the open heart surgery. But that surgery was so intense, and I was in ICU for like 2 weeks from that, and I don't think I would be able to go through it again, but I am very grateful that I did go through it. Facial surgery and the ear surgeries. I've also had multiple hip surgeries, and that was because my hips were out of socket. So I had to consistently have surgeries to repair that, and so I've had hip surgeries on both hips, and it's been numerous of surgeries, and thankfully I haven't had to go through that again. I'm able to walk fine, and I just thank God every day that I'm able to walk. Along with that, being that my body is extremely different from anybody else's, on top of that I have osteoporosis, on top of that I have arthritis, and that is just going to be a very common thing because my bones are just very different. So I do experience a lot of pain. I have a lot of joint pain, neck pain, back pain, just all over my body. I constantly have pain, but I've noticed that it's developed more as I've gotten older. I'm a little overwhelmed right now because there's so much that I would like to share, and there's so much more that goes into this. But again, I don't want to make this video too long, and I kind of feel like this will just be my personal Friday testimony series. I think that I'll probably break this up into 3 or 4 videos. So this is basically the introduction and basically telling you guys what I have, and this is huge for me because I don't share this information with anybody. I was actually embarrassed of it my whole life, and barely now as an adult have I been able to accept it, acknowledge it, and be okay with it, because I know that even though I do have OPD and it affects my life every day, it doesn't define me. It doesn't define me. It's not who I am. It just is part of me. I am going to go ahead and kind of end the video here, but I have a lot of faith in knowing that I've gone through everything I've gone through for a purpose, and I know that God is going to use it for something great. And it's taken me a very long time to accept my body for the way it is, and to love myself for who I am and for the way I am, and to love all of my imperfections, because they're not imperfections, it's what my normal is. So I've been able to accept that, and now that I've learned from it and I'm no longer ashamed of it, I'm ready to share it with everyone else, and I'm able to be happy and be proud of who I am and what makes me me. So I'm excited to just go into more details about everything with you guys and to share as much as possible. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. No question is a dumb question. And until next time, I hope you guys are having a blessed day. Thanks so much for watching, and I want to give you guys a virtual hug, and I will see you guys in my next video.